Hey there, welcome to the virtual table. Today we're going to cover a classic game. This originally came out in 1995, but this particular version came out many years later. I don't know exactly when, 2010, 2015, somewhere in there. Whenever Civilization IV existed. We're on Civilization VI right now, with 7 being released in a few months. So this was 3 versions of Civilization ago. So the game music's a little loud here, so let me hit play now. Get started, and then we can talk about what this is about. But it's basically it's a game called Colonization. There are 3 colonization games that I love and adore. This is of course one of them. The other one, which I did try to cover, although I was rusty because I hadn't played it in a few months, which was Europa Universalis 4. And that one is still the king of the kings for colonization. And then the last one, which is a really good one, it's called Age of Imperialism 2. There was a 1, but 2 is far superior to the first one. Excuse me. That Age of Imperialism 2, we might cover that one as well. It is a fantastic game. I would even rank it higher than this one. The only issue with it is it's tremendously older, so the graphics are bad, the interface is bad. Like trying to play it in a modern computer, it's a step backwards. So when you play this game, of course you can go random, and then if you choose to be the Dutch, there's 2 different leaders you can choose from for each of the 4 countries here. So Spain is not my playstyle, so I usually never play Spain. So what they are is they have the Conquistador ability, where they have a 25% bonus when they're at war with the natives. Of course, that's very thematic, but it's not my way I play. So there's 100%. So there's Liberty Bells, and then there's Rebel Strength, and things of that nature, which we'll get into later. But basically, like I said, this game originally came out in 1995. It is the first game that I'm aware of that had a endgame crisis. So the way this works is you're colonizing the New World, and it's very North America centric, or the Caribbean. You can choose which one you do. So you're colonizing the New World, and the key thing to understand is that eventually you get to the point where you generate enough liberty, and then you declare independence, and then the king will then send an army to conquer you, and you have to win your war of independence. So these Liberty Bells are how you get your independence, and there's a mechanic in the game where you gain enough Liberty Bells, and then eventually you can declare your independence, and then the king sends this monster army at you, and you have to be ready for it. It's like I said, it's one of the first games I can remember that had an in-game crisis, and it's awesome. And the King's Army is very difficult, or it can be. So this is basically just saying that the strength of the rebels, which is you, is affected by the amount of Liberty Bells you have. And then, so as you can see with each country, the top ability is country specific, and then the bottom one is person specific. So this is a very military centric nation, and of course the bottom one is that your military promotes quicker and half the experience. Now the French, so the natives will let you settle next to their territory, and one of the big differences between this version and the original 95 version, the original version, you had a lot more land to settle and space. In this one, there's Indians everywhere, and the Native Americans are they're almost always in like the primo spot too. Like if you were like to pick a spot, hey, this is where I would like to settle my colony, it's almost guaranteed that there's going to be a native settlement already there. So they do let you settle near them, but once you start to exceed a certain limit, it's based on the difficulty of the game, then what happens is they start to get angrier, and initially they'll let you pay them. So let's say you settle 2 times and you want to do a third, they might say, "Hey, give us $600," and then if you pay the $600, they'll let you settle the third one, and then if you try a fourth one, now the price is $1,500. You know, eventually it gets to a point where they'll declare war on you if you push the limits too far. So the French, of course, have a lot more cooperation, and then you can send your settlers to live with the natives to learn skills. And so this is saying that they would learn the skill twice as fast. This particular one, so you can send missions, which of course are you send preachers, right, to establish a mission there. And what happens is some of the natives will convert and want to live in your colonies, and so this causes that to happen quicker. This is not a bad one at all. You could argue like the time to learn a new skill is not that big of a deal. The 100% conversion rate, though, is bigger because the more natives you can get, the quicker your colonies can grow. The other one is you get a free promotion of Grenadier 1. I don't find this to be all that exciting, to be honest. But it's at least an option if you want to be a little bit more militaristic with the French. The thing is who you're going to be at war with other than the king. So, because if you're being cooperative with the natives, it's sort of like it's really a poor choice. Now the English they generate cross points, and so Europe is going to have. It's a little what's the word? I'm losing track of the word. Abstract. That's the word I'm looking for. So there's going to be a dock when you look at the European screen, and there's going to be people who want to immigrate to America, and the immigration rate is increased by the number of crosses you generate. So this is like a resource in the game. So it's basically saying that you can do it, 1/4 quicker, right? Because you only need 3/4 of the amount that the French or the Spanish or the Dutch were going to need. And then the amount of equipment you need to generate a soldier is 50% less. And this is not a horrible one, although I will tell you that the soldier is probably the weakest of them, and there's dragoons and other things you can build, and there's cannons. Like, it doesn't apply to any of them. It's very specific to the soldier. This one I think is far superior, and that is you generate more Liberty Bells, which is something that you do need to be able to eventually declare your independence, and the Liberty Bells gives you other perks as well. Then you have the Dutch, and this is probably the best Dutch one right here. So what you're doing in this game is this is a very economic game. It's a lot like Civilization on the surface, but it turns much more economic than Civilization. You're constantly producing goods and then sending them back to Europe to sell, or selling them to the natives. And the market prices, the price for your goods change based on how often you're selling. So if you're only making fur coats, and that's all you're trying to sell is fur coats, you're eventually going to drive the market down, and you probably need to diversify and sell other things. Well, the Dutch are a little more immune to that price being driven down. And then plus 25% production is literally what it's, what you would think. They produce things quicker, and that's never horrible. Now this one, 100% time between tax increases. So the game has sort of a timer, and I stress the word sort of. The king is going to start demanding that you pay taxes, and then over a certain amount of time he's going to increase the tax rate. And what this is saying is that the king will increase the tax rate, half speed. So you could argue that's really good. It does give you more time to prepare your colonies for when the king invades you. But I don't know. I've found in my playtesting that it's not as good as some of the other ones. You can refuse to pay taxes to the king, and then he just stops supporting you in certain ways. Eventually, he could get angry enough that he sends his army at you, but that's ultimately what you want anyways, is for him to send his army So there's a little bit of a, it's not that good of a bonus kind of feel. The other thing with the Dutch that's not listed here is they start with a superior ship. They start with a merchantman, which has a cargo capacity of 4 goods, whereas everybody else starts with a like a flute, which only has a cargo capacity of 2 goods. So that's something else to bear in mind. I would recommend that if you're playing the Spanish, really it's up to you how you want to pick on these two. I don't have experience playing the Spanish. I would say that this one is not bad in my mind, because if you're going to be militaristic, you want your military to be upgraded. I think that's more important than possibly this. And if you're very militaristic and you're fully upgraded, you should be able to take on the King's Army pretty well. For the French, this one is by far the superior. I think this one's just dumb. For the English, they're both good, but I think this one's superior. And for the Dutch, they're both good, but I think this one's superior. So which one should I do? It really doesn't matter. Let's do the Dutch one, and we'll start with the nicer ship. And I can't stress enough how good that is. Now, you could do... So the New World is just going to be focused on North America. It will not be exactly real Earth, so it's going to be a random map. But this is going to be more of a continent, whereas if you do Caribbean, it's going to be like an archipelago map. So you'll have a bunch of islands. So that's really your difference. Also, the Caribbean is going to be more sugar-centric, whereas the New World is going to have like all the biomes. So it's going to have tundra and swampy, sugary. Like, it's going to have the whole thing. I don't think obviously the Caribbean doesn't have tundra in it. So you're going to get a lot less furs and those kind of resources. So the furs are going to be more rare with the Caribbean, although some parts of South America will have it. Whereas the New World is going to have a mix of everything. So I like the New World, so that's what we're going to do. Now, on your first game, you probably want to do the easiest. And the difference in the difficulty level, I don't know for certain, but there's 2 things that I distinctly remember. The first one is how difficult the endgame crisis is going to be. So that King's Army is going to be more powerful the higher you go. And then the other thing is the tolerance of the Native Americans that you're settling in their lands. That's also impacted by this. I don't know of anything else that is. I like doing the huge world. It always feels like there's never enough room to do what you want to do. And I also don't like when the other nations are encroaching on you. So I like enough space. And I'm also rusty enough in this game, because I don't play this, tremendously much anymore. I'm going to make a lot of mistakes, because I'm playing based on what my recollection of the game is. And so the huge map is going to let me make more mistakes. I do recall being super efficient at this game and being able to play on Patriot or Revolutionary. I don't think that's going to be the case now, but I will put it on Explorer, and let's go. So you can... So we're going to be the Dutch colonies. And of course, on a modern computer, you just rock through. Alright, so it gives you a little bit of flavor. To achieve a victory, you have to found your colony. Declare your independence from your motherland after obtaining a 50% rebel sentiment in all your settlements. Before time runs out, defend your fledgling country from the wrath of the motherland by wiping out all their ground forces. You must complete your revolution before any other European. So there's a little bit of a timer there. I'm going to start with this merchantman, and I think that's a pioneer, if I remember, and a soldier. So here we go. So it starts you off on the ocean, presuming it's the Atlantic. This little outline you see here is just if you sail your ship into this is how you sail back to Europe. So it's just that. And then you can see here we have a soldier, and we also have a pioneer. And they're both colonists. So just because they're a soldier and a pioneer, that's their profession. The profession is different than the type of unit. They're both colonist units. So they can both form a colony. You can actually change the profession of your person. So if this person decides not to be a soldier anymore, and what he's going to do is he'll put guns in your town. So like guns is a resource in this game. And let's talk about that. So along the top here, you're going to eventually meet people and you're going to have a domestic advisor, and there's going to be some really cool charts, that you can look at. None of them are available. This is what Europe looks like. Europe has goods at a certain price, so you can always come back to Europe and buy goods here. And there are colonists that are very close to becoming available, but they're not quite. So for 100 gold, I can hurry this along, and then they'll be on the docks. Anybody on the docks is who I can pick up and bring to the new world. The inbound outbound is just showing ships, because it takes several turns for a ship to arrive in Europe and several turns for them to go back. So this just represents that. And then the transactions is for when I'm buying and selling goods. Now, if I want any of these three colonists, I can hurry them up and get them to appear here. At any time, I can just click on purchase and hire anybody. Almost anybody. I should probably put that caveat, including, like, this is the merchantman. We started with and then the caravel is what everybody else starts with. My apologies. So you can see the cargo space is 2 on this one, and it moves 3 spaces. It has 3 strength. This one moves 4 spaces and has a cargo space of 4. So the Dutch do start with a superior ship. And then you're going to want to eventually build a galleon, at least one, because that's necessary for bringing back treasure. So that's something that you can find in the game. And then, of course, you can buy frigates from them as well. But there are far superior ships to these, but you have to build them in the New World. Now, the people that you can bring back, these are all professional. They're not standard colonists. And if you see the word expert in front, those are the gatherers. So expert fishermen fish, expert farmers, farm, expert lumberjack, chops down trees. The masters are part of your economic, they're part of your factories. So a master, fur trader is going to take the fur and turn it into, coats. Now, one thing you'll notice is there's no expert fur gatherer. I don't know if that's what they call it, but or fur trapper. So the expert fur trappers, only the Native Americans know how to do that, and that's a skill you got to learn from them. So as much as it looks like you can buy anything you want here, it's not 100% true, but most of what you want is here. And so that's what and then the Elder Statesman lets you produce Liberty Bells. You can see it's a plus 100% production. The Fireband Preacher will produce extra crosses, which will increase immigration. And then the Hardy Pioneer is better than the Pioneer we have. And think of it as a civilization worker. You can build roads, things like that. We'll talk more about these as we go, but just understand that there is a much larger menu you can purchase from. A very expensive purchase, some of these. And these 3 are much cheaper. You can see they're 100 gold each. And in fact, the prices for these are excellent. But I only have 100, so I gotta figure something out. So let's move. So I'm trying to figure out why. How do I move the map here? The right mouse button, of course, is what brings up the menu. Oh, I guess I just gotta scroll. So it's a scrolling game. Now, a couple of things. I like the grid. This shows the resources. Without that, that would be really hard to tell that there's deer there. I can see the deer now that I know they're there, but I wouldn't have been able to see it super easily. So I definitely like having that on. The other thing is the yield display can clutter up the map. So here's what you need to know. That is a burial ground. You can angry them if you go to the burial ground. However, um, you can get some nice things too. Now this is a little hut, and what that means is even though we don't see it, there's got to be an Indian city right here, or village or whatever, because the huts are only around an Indian village. So as much as I would like to maybe settle here, that's not a good idea. Um, the yield, what it's showing is what you could produce. So here you see 3 food and 3 cotton. So based on the type of land, you can make, like I said, 3 food, 3 cotton. Here you could produce, looks like 6 wood, and then there's 5 fur. And then here you can see there's wood, fur, and it's a lot harder to see, but there's 3 iron ore here as well. And that's because this is a hill. And then the one reason you would want to remove the resource display is you can see that with the deer, it's 3 food, 2 lumber. Now, just understand that you can only do one of those things. So, if I'm using this for lumber, I'm not using it for fur. And there's no combo platters. This isn't Comcast. You don't get to do any bundling. Now, what I can do is I can say, hey, let's take a chance on this. And then I'm going to go ahead and land. And sure enough, I met Montezuma. And so he's not willing to do a defensive pact with me. But there it is, exactly like I thought it would be. He's right there. And then I could try to move onto spaces just to like explore. So I've just unloaded both of my guys, and then I can, try to move the ship to explore the whatever it is, continent, island. It's hard to say. Now, if you try to move a soldier here, it will ask you if you want to declare war, and I don't. And then when you're there, it should let you speak to the chief. It'll show up as an option, but see, he's red, so he's out of movement points. So I think I gotta wait till next turn. And as you go, you can see this is another green village, so these are both the same tribe. And then this guy already moved and took the burial ground, and we didn't anger anybody, so we're good to go there. So just gonna keep moving, explore, figure out. Here we go. Ask to speak with the chief. The other option is to click here. So because I'm there, I'm gonna try to speak with the chief. So let's do that. Now, because I'm the very first to speak with the chief, before the Spanish, before the other nations, they give you a gift for being the first, and so that gift is worth 1,196 bucks, which is excellent. Okay, so sometimes it's a gift that you get immediately in your coffers, but in our case, that's not happening. So we retained what's called a treasure. And so I'm going to move that treasure to here. And it looks like a little wagon. I'm not at war with anybody. There's no such thing as barbarians in this game. So you don't have to worry too much about him being attacked, but you do need to protect him. He is worth 1196, like we said. The king will offer to send a galleon out to pick it up for you, but he wants half of what it's worth. So your biggest dilemma is, do you sell it for 500 bucks, which is still a lot of money, because then I can send my ship back, and you saw there were 3 colonists I could pick up for 100 each. So that 500 would let me get 3 colonists. Skilled colonists to boot, which is pretty good. So don't have to make that decision yet. Well, I'm going to go ahead and just keep exploring with my ship. And I do have to decide, where do I put a colony? And what I'm looking for is, I want sources of food. Because as your colony gets bigger and bigger, you need to feed your people, and it does become a very cumbersome thing to feed them. And so the fish here, for example, is a great looking spot. But I also want stuff like this, because this is how you get fur, right? It's from the beaver here. And sometimes what you got to do is you have one colony become like your capital that has your powerhouse, and then these colonies over here, since they can't produce as much food, you just basically put fur gatherers there, and then you create caravans that transport back and forth. It's very viable to do that. And so I'm just going to go ahead. And of course, the longer you delay, the further behind you may fall from the other players. So you do need to get your... And I think... Yes. There we go. So I'm not finding anything, at least along the shore. This is a great source of wood, though, which... Again, you may have like sub-colonies that you create them, but your intention is never to grow big. Their whole point is just to generate resources, and then you send it back to your capital. And then you use your capital to have all the manufacturing. But like I said, you need a lot of food. So these two fish are looking good. I do have a native city that I have to contend with. But I still think, I'm thinking about settling right here. I just want to see what these spaces look like. So I'm going to go ahead and move with that just to see. As you can see, there's some nice wood, but there's no other resource. So this is going to be challenging, but not insurmountable. And then also, you see how this says Expert Farmer? When you visit a native and speak with the chief, he does reveal what goods he's looking for. I do wish the game would tell you. Because like when I hover over this, it doesn't say, what they're looking for. And I was so quick with my clicking, I didn't read it and pay attention. So I'd have to go talk to that chief again, which you have to send somebody there to do. So anyways, so I'm moving up. And there's another burial ground, and they don't tell you here, right? So you don't see what they want in trade. Now, the thing that they want in trade isn't always... what it means is they're going to pay a nice price for it. But they want other stuff too. So you could always trade other things with them. And then be careful, because these Indians... I think these dots represent how many army they have. So they have 1, 2, 3, 4... I think they have 5. They're really difficult to kill early in the game. So I'm just going to use that as an exploration. And then I think I do want to settle here because the two fish is attractive. There we go. I finally found the resource. There's tobacco. That's the kind of stuff I'm looking for. I need things like that. And then the crab is just another food generator. And then here I found... this looks like this would be England. Yep, so there's George Washington. And Jamestown, so he has corn and tobacco. He has an excellent spot. I can only wish I had something that good. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start sailing back to Europe to get some more colonists. And then we're going to just keep exploring here. I need to get my colony formed, and looking at our situation, this is a good source of food. I could go here. This, by the way, that's silver. Silver is the rarest thing in the game. It always sells for a good price. There's 1 silver on that mountain there. I'm choosing this because of the fish, but these are the things I'm looking for. I need the resources. These are not as good. They're more of a food source. And like I was saying, these two plus the fish, that makes a nice potential area. But I think I like this one. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and we're going to go ahead and build our settlement. And so they're basically letting me know, you can see how happy they are with me, that they're going to let me settle near them. So yeah, we'll call it New Amsterdam, and then we're going to build something. I like building the dock first. It's going to generate 2 extra food on every water tile, and we happen to have 2 fish there, so that'll make our food generation become a powerhouse. Now, this is hard to see because we have this on, but if you take that off, you can see that's actually a ruins. That's sort of like the goody huts from Civilization. So we're going to go ahead and move towards the ruins, and then I'm going to have this guy come up and visit them. You want to visit these natives to get some money. You usually can get some free money, and I don't know if you can visit them with your treasure, but let's see if we can. Uh-oh. I offended the natives? Where? They're pleased. How did I offend natives? Okay, the Apache are cautious. They're pleased. So it had to be the Apache, but it says you offended the natives and they attacked you. But with what? Did I somehow step on a... The only thing that does that is you step on a burial ground. I just didn't remember seeing one. We did go to this, which was... That was just a ruin. Alright, well I better get away from the edge. Because if there's natives coming to attack me, I definitely am not going to hold up against them. So, what I need to do is I gotta plan out my city. And this is all you get. When you click on New Amsterdam here, we have 50 guns because our soldier profession was 50 guns. So he gave up his profession as a soldier, and now he's just a regular colonist. And so, as a regular colonist, the guns are in the storage. And right now you can see he's generating wood, which is fine. That's a good thing to do. So we're going to go back, and I actually want to visit him, and then I want to see if that works. And there you can see our ship just finally left for Europe, and you can see he's coming back in 2 turns. Alright, so I don't think I can speak to... It's red, so I'm going to wait till next turn. But I don't think I can speak to the king. No, I can't. So that won't let me do it. See, there's another burial ground. And here I am. So one of the colonists is ready. I don't have to pay anything for that one. That's an expert fisherman. We definitely need that. We actually need 2 expert fishermen if you think about it. A free colonist would be awesome, but I only have 191. The seasoned scout is absolutely perfect for early game. So that is for sure the first choice. So I only have 81. I can't afford any of these other guys, but another expert fisherman would be awesome. And the master rancher is not an early game. That's more of a mid to late game thing, but you could still bring him and just have him do other tasks for you. I don't think I need to buy anything from here, although at some point you're going to want to get horses. But yeah, let's go ahead and just go to the new world. And I'm going to go ahead and try to grab this, but again, I have to be careful. And then hit and turn. So we're going to speak with the chief. So now I got 860 bucks. He is in need of guns. So right here is where he says what he's trading. He wants guns. And then he's an expert tobacco planter, which is good. Now, that 860 is another treasure thing. So I'm going to move to here. And then now what we can do is we can move them to the capital so they stay safe. So what you can do here is you can build a farm, and you can see how it'll affect. So this says it'll add 3 food, subtract 6 wood. So you can do things there. I'm going to build a lodge to make it increase the wood and the furs by 1. And there you go. I've arrived. So I'm going to bring my ship to here. And I think they're the ones that aren't real happy with me at the moment. So I need to get away from them. So we're going to move back. Assuming I can survive that. So now we got the king. He's asking me for 430 bucks. Or no, I'm sorry. He's offering to send a galleon to pick that up for 50% commission. So I'll get 430, and I'm going to say no thank you. So just let them rest. They don't lose value. Alright, so I have my 2 guys. I'm just going to hit this button, unload all of them. So now they're standing outside of town. And if I double click on this, and here they are, everybody's standing outside of town. So I can take my expert fisherman and put him on the fish. And so he produces 10 food, which you can see represented here. I'm generating 9, and I'm consuming 4 because each colonist eats 2. And then I got 3 from the settlement, because the settlement produces everything it's on. So I get the tobacco and the food from the settlement center. And then I'm getting 10 food. Now the expert fisherman generates 2 extra food if they're fishing. That's the bonus that they give. So of course this is the perfect roll. And then I have my colonist here who's making wood. Now what the wood's used for is if you put them here at the carpenter shop, it turns wood into production. So now you can start producing things. And then to help you out here, this is furs into coats. This is tobacco into, tobacco, cigars, I guess is the way. And then this converts cotton into cloth. This produces Liberty Bells. And then this converts ore into tools. And then this converts sugar into rum. And there's other buildings we're going to get as we build things, but this is what we start the game with. Okay. So, I obviously have this guy chopping wood. We have an expert tobacco planter up here. We got an expert farmer down here. I can have the guy leave the town, go visit the village, and then he will stay there for a few turns, and then he will turn into either of those. So that's one of the things you can do. And I highly recommend that you do it. Now, the ship itself, you can load things. Like I can load those 50 guns. Right now, these things don't sell for an awful lot in Europe. So you can explore with the ship. You could try... Like I could have sold one of those for the 50% tax and then use that to go back and get more colonists. Because you could argue that with more colonists, you can become more productive quicker. We do eventually want to start a second settlement. It's looking like in our situation, the most natural, the most natural thing is furs. So if I build a settlement right here, I got access to 2 furs, boom and boom, and I can start pumping those furs into there, and then like over here, there's some really nice. There's 3 sets of diamonds, or I'm sorry, silver. But this city here only is going to develop what's around it. So to get all 3 of these silver, I'd have to put a city here. And then I'm going to give up the furs. So 1 single silver is not... I mean, it's hard to write home about that. But again, the silver, you could mine these and it's going to produce more silver. And then if you get an extra silver miner, they will produce extra silver. Like you could get at least 3 silver or more from each of these, which would generate 9 total silver. That's also a good economy system. So the biggest thing is I need to explore and see what else we have. All right, so what do I do with the ship? Well, right now I'm going to just wait. And then with my explorer, they do get extra bonuses at the when you go to these artifacts, you know, the goody huts, stuff like that. But what I'm going to do initially is I want to go visit these and get the freebies from each of the tribes. It also reveals, you know, what they're going to be able to teach us, and that's what we want to do. So for now, I have somebody fishing and somebody generating wood. I have 48 wood, so what I could do is I could stop doing that and put them here, and now we're going to be getting 4 production, and you can see they're going to be consuming 3 wood a pop. And by generating the production, they're going to produce the docks, which is currently under production here. So until I get more colonists in this location, I don't have good efficiency at the moment. I can only do one thing at a time. Now, if you do produce enough food and you hit the cap, I can't remember what that is, whether it's 100 or 200, it does generate a new colonist. So you could argue, hey, let's just crank out the food and get new colonists to generate that way. That's another thing you can do, because moving to 4 production is not necessarily all that great. Since I produce 3 tobacco, I could also go here, because it uses exactly 3 tobacco leaves to make 3 cigars. So then I'm going to be producing real resources that we can trade back in Europe for money. Now that I think about it, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'll leave him there, and we're going to do that. So Tupi want to do a defensive pact. I'm all for it, so I'm going to say okay. Now, another thing to understand with this game is this is a huge source of tobacco, which means you'll generate 2 extra tobacco because that tobacco leaf is there. But as you can see, you could generate tobacco without having the resource present. It's just going to be less. So you can see there's 2 tobacco leaves here and there's 3 there. So this is producing extra for the type of terrain that it's on. And the same with furs. I can produce furs right here. There's 3 of them. So I don't have to, you know, develop these 2 resources. It's just that right here you can see it's already producing 6 furs on its own, and that's before I even do anything to enhance it. So that's some of the nice things about it. And then the other thing is, where did my... Well, that's right, I'm building a hut here. So I'm going to wait another turn. So, building the hut with my pioneer, that'll increase the amount of wood that this generates. It also increases the amount of fur. So you could argue that, hey, let's grab wood from this one and let's grab fur from that one. I could theoretically do that, and then I can go after the silver and ignore these. There's a lot of options. I'm still going to wait on the ship. I'm bringing this home. You cannot load these on anything other than a galleon, so my ship can't load those. This one next turn we'll be able to talk to the chief. Alright, so George Washington wants to do open borders. I'm okay with that. Let's speak with the chief. So he's a tobacco planter as well, and he also needs guns. So I'm going to say okay. So we got 2 expert tobacco planters, and he did not give us any goodies. So I don't know if that's because England was already there. They're all the way up here, though. I don't actually understand why we got no goodies from him. Alright, so you can start loading things. I only have 9 cigars. But, for example, I can take those and say, okay, let's go. So if you look at the price for cigars, you can sell them for 10 bucks each. So I'd make 90 bucks. That'd be enough to bring back 2 of these guys. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. We're just going to go back with our 9. Okay, now they want to exchange world map. I'm okay with that, because I bet they've explored more than me. And they have. So we got a little bit more insight of what's above. Some more of the... But that's good. got it, my other treasure. Alright, so this is how I sell my goods. And you can see I sold 10 for 90 bucks. Simple enough. The price will change, you know, if you sell too many. One colonist is available. I'm looking at the situation. These were $60. But even for 110, I'm going to buy another fisherman. And now I'm down to 101, so I can't quite get another. So there's a farmer, a gunsmith, and a rancher available potentially soon. And you can see here this is the crosses. I'm generating 1 per turn right now. I need 10 to get the next one to come down. So I'm just going to keep going back and forth like this, selling stuff, bringing back colonists, speaking to the chief. So there you go, there's $1,000 right there. And this guy needs cigars. That's good news, because selling cigars to him might actually be more lucrative than to the king back in Europe. So I don't have a way to transport them to him yet, but I will soon. And then I'm going to go up and visit this one. And you can see I got myself another treasure. And this is very common, because the first time you meet a tribe is when you get these. If somebody else visited a tribe, you just get some beads that are worth 50 bucks or whatever. Alright, so still building the hut. Coming back. Alright, this guy's done. The hut's built. I would like to do more with him, but there's a part of me that wants to get, we gotta get our colony productive. So I'm gonna unload everybody. See what we can load. There's 18 cigars. And that's all I have at the moment, right? To sell. I mean, I could try to sell those guns, but I'm going to go ahead and just load those 18 cigars and then start heading back. I know it seems wasteful at first, and I'm being a little greedy. I could have, I think there's right here, sell the treasure. I can have the king sell this. And you can see this one's worth $11.96. I can have the king sell it for half price, which would then let me get more money so I can, you know, bring back a ship full of... But I want you to understand, though, that if you played any other nation besides the Dutch, you only have a cargo capacity of 2 with your starting ship. So going there and bringing back only 2 colonists each time is pretty much how it goes. The fact that I can bring 4 at a time is a luxury that only the Dutch have. Alright, so... So we have our expert fisherman, and I know it's overkill, but remember I told you if you produce enough, you're going to generate colonists, which that alone, having the 2 fish, this was a great start in that regard. I do have a free colonist here, which I can put to work, and then like I said, I have my pioneer here who's been improving the land around the area. If I put him to work in the town, he's going to put 50 tools here. So that'll give us some tools to start the game with. And tools are not a bad thing. And I think for now... yeah, that's what I want to do. Because he's red, I can't put him in the town yet. So next turn I'll be able to. So one more thing. The colonist, I was going to not put him in the town because I wanted him to maybe become an expert farmer. I just don't know if I'm going to be farming anything at the moment. I mean, this is a farming spot right here. I could do something there. So I actually think I probably need to just make the town more productive. So I'm going to have him start cutting wood. And you choose, like, which one do you want him to do? So we're going to have him be a lumberjack. And then next turn we'll have this guy become a carpenter. And you can always switch them back to pioneer again, because as long as you have those 50 tools in your inventory, that's what it takes to become a pioneer. And as long as I have those 50 guns, I can always turn one of them back into a soldier. So, just because you switch their profession, now if you don't have the 50 guns, then you can't turn one of your colonists into a soldier. You just have to have the right materials to be able to do it. Alright, what's it waiting on? Yeah, we're gonna sleep this guy. There we go. Alright, so again, we got this guy. I could develop around. Like, I could develop this to produce more fur. Looks like I can get some ore here. I don't know, like, this is another place for either fur or um, wood. I can turn this into a farm. And then this looks like another good ore spot. So, like, I can have him go around and develop the area with his tools. Or I can go in and just have him become... I could show you. Like, you can do this, and now I'm producing this dock quicker. Looks like 2 turns away. And then, like I said, I can always put him back out here. And it says, okay, what do you want him to be? I can make him into a missionary. But if I do pioneer, you can see the 50 tools here. He'll take those 50 tools and become the pioneer again. It's all interchangeable. So, what is the right choice here? I mean, arguably you could say, hey, we should go around and improve everything around. But I do want him to... Let's get that dock going. Because without him working on a dock, it's 7 turns. So we just turn that 7 turns into 2 turns. Then we speak with the chief. This guy needs guns. And apparently somebody else talked to him because we got nothing from this guy. Oh, and then I went to that burial mound and I found a treasure. This one's worth 1,068, which is really good. So we're just going to keep having all the treasure carts go back to our town to be a little protected. And then, now that I've done everything here, I want to start exploring. I don't want to go up near England, because chances are they spoke to whatever tribe that's near them. I want to come back down to here and start exploring this black zone behind us, because this is where we're casting our fortune, right down here. So I do see some tobacco here, and we could work our way up. There's some nice farm areas, and we do have the ability to make expert farmers, so we could get a nice tobacco thing going. Way better than just producing 3 leaves here. This thing will be producing, 8 or 9 leaves by the time we got everything upgraded. So getting up here, you could see the food is only 2, but we can actually put our city here and produce 3 food and 3 cotton. The issue is the fish is low, but remember the dock will increase the fish production by 2. So this will become 3 fish. Not quite as good as when you have an actual fish symbol, but we can, by going here, I could at least farm this one. Maybe chop down some trees and farm those. Or I can go like here, and I'm getting 3 sugar. Sugar's hard to find in North America. It's probably the most rare one. There's options, I guess is what I'm saying. Because if I go here, I got a huge amount of ore here. And I can still generate 2 food and 3. And then I can build a farm and a farm. And I can even get more sugar up here. That's actually a really nice spot. I actually like that. So I see 2 spots right now. I can come here to get tobacco and sugar. And I can come down here to get fur. Now, I could, like I've been saying, I could go here and get silver. And then use this forest to get fur. Because look, this forest here is producing a lot of fur. It's producing 5. You can see it down here on the bottom. That produces 5 fur. And it's because this is a tundra. The tundra is what's giving it the bonus. If you go here, this is just forest / grassland. And that produces 3 fur. And then here, it's a light forest tundra. So you're getting 6 fur because there's actually fur icon there. Now, if you're wondering, how do you know all this stuff? Well, you can click on the Civilopedia. It goes into the different terrains. So you can see that the tundra has 2 fur and 2 food base. And then the plains, 3 and 3. Then the marsh, see where that's where the sugar's coming from. The ice is going to be just fur. The grassland is going to be food and tobacco. The desert's going to produce ore, etc. So, what else can I show you? So this is just showing relationships, you know, peace. I have a defensive treaty with the Tupi, which are these guys. I have an open borders with them, so that's the green, and you can see there's the little chart here, and that just gives you the text version. And then this is all my units, so I can find where everybody is. Very helpful when the game gets bigger. Oops, wrong one. This is Founding Fathers. So I'm producing exploration points right now. So you can see that's why that's quite high. I'm at 2070. But if I start producing political points, which is the Liberty Bells, they do serve another purpose. If I can get this to 225, then I can hire Pedro here, and my travel time to Europe will be cut in half. So there's multiple tabs. So you can generate religious points, which are the crosses. These are Liberty Bells again. This is trading, whether with the natives or back in Europe. And then again, Liberty Bells. And then military, of course, is doing military type actions. And then politics, which is pure Liberty Bells. So Liberty Bells are important, and that's why that English one where he generates 25% more Liberty Bells, that's why I think that one's the best. I think that's the best nation in the game to play, because the extra Liberty Bells will get you these Founding Fathers quicker. Now, we're not generating Liberty Bells at the moment, or maybe we're generating one at a time. So you can generate 3 per citizen that you assign here, and that's something you want to do to help you get those Founding Fathers quicker. And all you have to do is just do stuff in the game. So you do military stuff, you're going to gain military points. Now, you could change your production. I don't want to touch it. You can change your productions. Like right now we're producing docks. Oh, here it is. It's up here. I can produce political points using my production. And then here I can produce exploration points, religion, trade, and military. This one is our Continental Congress. So as we get our Founding Fathers, I'm sorry, when you declare your independence, the Continental Congress will form, and you actually get to draw. You get to write your constitution, if you will, and then you can give your nation bonuses and stuff like that. Let's see, victory conditions. You just need to defeat the King of Netherlands. I mean, it's that simple. And then 275 turns. You do have a bit of a time limit, and this I missed this one. So these are my colonial forces. I do have one soldier, and then as you can see, as we build our units, we're gonna get more powerful, and then as we gain our Liberty Bells and our unit strength, this will grow, and then we can start the revolution after we get to 50%. The King's army right now is this, so this is what he's gonna attack me at the end of the game, but this will grow, because as we move closer to the middle, the king will start to add more and more here. So this isn't the final tally, but for right now, that's what you're up against. So my one soldier wouldn't even kill one regular. I mean, they get annihilated. So got a long way to go. Alright, so we built the dock within the 2 turns, and so now it's saying, okay, what do you want to build next? Well, one of the things you definitely want to prioritize is a warehouse. That adds 100 goods storage. So at the moment, because several things are happening. So I'm going to sell my 18. So now I'm at 281. There's nobody here, but you can see I'm getting close. Who do I need next? Like an expert farmer, a gunsmith. I don't need those. What I would like is the statesman, because then we can start generating a whole bunch of Liberty Bells, but look at how much that costs. So not quite there. The Hardy Pioneer is also awesome. Can't quite do that either. Um, so we can get a... So what I'm trying to find with the Indians is I need an expert fur trapper. And only an Indian can teach you to be that. Another thing is the firebrand. See, the preacher is good. We need missionaries as well. So what do I want to do? I could spend money to bring one of these. These are only costing 90. I think it's because the price got cheaper because this is getting closer to 10. So I think if I buy one of these, this will reset back to 0. Let's test that out. Let's get the... See, I can train to be one of those. This lets you produce horses when you build a ranch. Don't need horses yet, although they're very valuable. And then I don't need guns yet either, though. So, like, none of these are needed. I guess the farmer I can definitely use, though. Even though I just said I could train my guys to become one. So I'm going to go ahead and take the farmer for 90. And there you go. See, look, that reset. And now it's going to take 12 to get to the next one. And then you can see the price is higher because the price is literally based on how many more of these you need. And then this, the price is fixed because you're basically going outside of the immigration track and you're basically just contracting somebody, hey, come to the New World, I'll pay you and your family, whatever. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab that guy and we'll bring him back. Now, it is possible to explore the map and then you find the Pacific Ocean. Because remember, this isn't North America. There's sometimes it's just a little island and you go right around it. When you find the Pacific Ocean, there's a little sail back to Europe button or section there. And then whenever you click the button to have him sail to Europe, there's a sail on the east, sail to the west. So you can tell him which side of the map you want him to sail to. It's pretty slick. Alright. So we got another one of these here. And like I've been saying, these are just Indians moving around. We're friendly with them, so that part's good. I do want to get some more villages started, but I want this village to be self-sustaining. Right now we're producing just the smallest amount of tobacco. I got the wood going, I got the production going. To be quite honest, the only thing that I could possibly want to do more is let's start generating some ore and getting some tools built. And then after that, I'm happy with, getting another city going. At some point, if we have another city that's producing, for example, furs and sending them back, then I want this city to have the coat makers. And, it eventually starts to compound, but like at some point you do need to get those other cities going. But you don't want to do it at the expense of this one. So I want this one to at least be self-sustaining, which right now it is. It's generating plenty of food. It's producing, right, wood and production. And I'm making at least some good that I can sell back in Europe, even though it's not a lot. And here we go. So what I could do is start the new town with this farmer. The farmer can help here, but I don't need him. I got the 2 fishermen. I do want a farmer here eventually, but I don't need him now. Alright, so now he's telling me to pay taxes. And then I can anger him, but I will pay. And of course, I think it's the ring I kissed. It doesn't quite show you. I mean, he does hold his hand out. And I can, through diplomacy, talk to the king. I can ask him to spare some military. And he says, nope. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and drop off my guy. Load the ship. And I'm at 18 cigars again. For now, I'm not making a lot of money doing this. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to explore, because I need to see what's back here. So let's get our ship exploring. That'll give the town some time to generate some more. And I'm going to send our farmer, we're going to start our next one here. Get the tobacco thing going, because we're making cigars already. The fur thing is going to take longer to build. And the farmer is going to help us, because since he's already a farmer, I can farm one of these spots, and it'll be nice to start generating some sugar too. Alright, so what am I waiting on? Okay, yeah, my farmer, I am debating, like, this one is really good as well, but I am going to go here instead. We'll form the town there. And then, yes, that'll give us some nice tobacco. Way nicer than just the 3 leaves we're getting here. Alright, so I hit enter a couple times. And here we go. We got a free colonist. Now, this free colonist came because our food, I'm assuming, hit 100. It's got to be in a Civilopedia somewhere. Let's see. Game concepts. Hints. See, the old days, they didn't let you have search buttons. Food. Excess food will collect. You can create a new citizen. If your stores reach 200, then we get a free colonist. And that's exactly what just happened. So I got a free colonist for doing 200. And now here's what's cool. I can keep him here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to move him here and make him become an expert tobacco planter. So we'll show you how that works. And then, oh, look at this. See these 2 fish? I could go here and get 2 of the silver, and then at least have that fish. This is too far away. That's too far away. I could possibly have 2 villages here. That's why you need to explore. Alright, so one of the things we're going to do is we're going to build a wagon train. This is going to allow us to trade goods. Now, there is automation for these wagon trains, but your guess is as good as mine on how they work. I honestly don't know how those wagon trains work with automation. Alright, so we just found Machu Picchu. We'll explore a little bit more. So look at that. That's an actual iron deposit, which that's very interesting. We're going to go speak to the chief. So my free colonist is here, and he's going to live among the natives. And so the natives are going to teach him on how to become an expert tobacco planter. And then I'm going to go ahead and build a settlement. So this is my king telling me that I gotta build wagon trains, or otherwise this is not a good idea. And I'm gonna say, yep. And the Apache are telling me they need 1,200 bucks. Oof. I don't have 1,200 bucks, and if I anger them, I don't have the ability to defend myself. So I can't start the settlement. At least not there. And it's because they got angry from something I stepped on. I must have stepped on a, those burial grounds are hard to see sometimes with these graphics. I would love a modern graphic version of this game, for sure. So, I gotta go to plan B, because, that's not working, although this was a perfect spot. I don't have 1,200 bucks. So I think, for now, I don't know what to have him do, so I'm going to have him sentry. And here we'll speak with the chief. See, we got 288, so somebody else found them already. That 288 immediately went into our coffers, so that's better. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and let's start making some money, because if I need 1,200 bucks, I got to start selling again. Alright, let's go here. Snooze you. I know I could sell those things for 50%. I'm being greedy, folks, and again, it's a little bit of a gamble. So here you can see we're generating, we got up to 39. With the warehouse, you can store up to, I believe, 200 now. And these are more things we can build. So some of these, for example, this dry dock, if you look at the very bottom, which is right here, it says it takes 15 turns to build, but it also costs 50 tools. That's why I was saying you need to produce tools eventually, because some of these advanced buildings require tools. The basic buildings don't. And if you look at the Civilopedia, so these are all the different ones in the game. So we built a dock, right? It then leads to a dry dock, which then leads to a shipyard. And you can see the cost for the dock is just 25 production. This one is 75 production, but also 50 tools. And then it gets even more expensive. So to build the upgraded stuff, you do need to have you gotta have a lot of ore and tools going, which we don't have going at all right now. And then with everything, so like right now we have the carpenter's shop, which you start the game with that, right? So that's already in our town. It just produces 3 per citizen. But it can upgrade to the lumber mill, which costs 80 tools, and then eventually that can be, you could build all kinds of stuff once you build that. Now this is one that I don't think has a 3rd level, but what it is it's a prerequisite to building some of these other more advanced factories and buildings. So the lumber mill is important for different reasons. And then you can build universities and schools. So what it does is the school lets you can put a free colonist, an indentured servant, a converted native, or a petty criminal. And you can allow them to adopt a specialization of any other specialist that's already in your settlement. So that's really cool. It's a way to train them to become something that you already have. And then the college does it quicker. And then the university does it even quicker. Alright, so our expert tobacco planter is ready. And I'll start moving him towards the town, even though we don't quite have all that ready to go. Religious unrest caused increased immigration. So we got somebody available for us. Alright, I'm going to load those cigars. 45 of them. That's still pretty good. Now, what this is saying is I have 111 lumber. The 100/111 is each slot on my ship can only hold 100 goods. So it's saying that I'm going to load 100 of the 111 if I click on this. And then, if they ever get to their cap, the excess is lost. At the highest level warehouse, it'll sell the excess for, I think, 50% of what it's worth, which is still bad, but it's not as bad as losing it. So if I'm concerned I'm generating more lumber than I can spend, which is the case here, and actually let me do it right now. I'm going to go ahead and load up the 100 lumber, so that gives us something else to sell. So we're going to go ahead and start shipping back, because we need to get to 1,200 to build this colony. Oh, it's a silver deposit. Oh my gosh. down here is looking amazing right now. Um, if there's no Indian villages here or here, we're in great shape. We may not even be angering. It'd probably be these guys I'm going to end up angering. But so what this just changed things. The fur is now back on the menu because as much as I wanted to get this, and this one, um, way better. Where's it at? It already produces 2, right? Um, but with the mine and the other bonuses, you're going to be able to increase that even more. That is fantastic. So what that means then is I want to put my village right here, so I have silver, and this could just become my silver town. And then I just bring everything back and... Ooh, that is nice. Alright, so I got a wagon train. I'm going to eventually want more than one, but right now one is fine. I can build a church, which will then let me start producing crosses. I can build a schoolhouse, which will let me, train my people. It works almost the same way as going here. I can build... So the printing press costs tools. That gives me extra Liberty Bells, which, again, I'm not making any of at the moment. What is the right choice? The lumber mill requires 30 more tools, which I don't have. Yeah, I'm basically running to a point where I have to start producing tools. The stockade will let me defend my settlement. Yeah, that's a good idea. We need that. Alright, so, with Mr. Wagon, I can bring supplies to another town. At the moment, I don't think I need to do that. I want the food to overflow so I get more villagers. So, what I do instead with this guy is I'm basically... The whole point of him is to bring goods back. Whether it's down here or over there. This is looking good. There's no natives anywhere. Yeah, it's still expensive. I could anger them. I can't afford to defend myself. So... Now, you could argue, hey, these guys should be working in your town until you're ready. The problem is that it takes so many turns to walk there, and my boat's almost in... So here we go. I was able to get... I'm at 1,064. I'm so close. The blacksmith will help me produce those tools that I'm looking for. Fur trader is awesome. So I could pay the money, but I think I'm just going to wait. Alright. So we're what, $100 away? 200. There we go. Just like predicted. I got my new guy. So, I could send him to go start these other colonies I was talking about. Or we can have him help out here. I think I want him to start producing those Liberty Bells so we can get some Founding Fathers. Well, actually, we probably want him to get some ore, don't we? There's too many things. Too many things, guys. I'm going to do this for now. My explorer is supposed to be finding Indian villages, speaking to the chief, and getting money. And that's not happening in this game, even though I found some great settlement spots. There's one. Alright, I'm going to just go ahead and rest. So this guy needs guns. And there you go, he gave me 282, which is what I was looking for, right there. And there it is, Expert Trapper. That's what I'm looking for as well. Wow, I love it when a plan comes together. Look at that, that's another silver ore. Oh. I said that sugar is the most rare. Silver is the most rare. My apologies. But the fact that I found 2 of them is amazing. Alright. We are in business. So I'm going to bring this back. We're going to go ahead and start the city. we accept your price. So Fort Orange is a cool Dutch settlement. But I am an old man who likes to name my cities on what its purpose is. So Fort Tabaki. Now I can't build a dock, which is always nice. So we have, it's going to look the same as the other ones. So what do I want to build first? I probably want to build a stockade. The wagon train wouldn't hurt. Or no, the warehouse. We gotta build a warehouse. Alright, so then we have our expert tobacco planner, which I'm going to assign to tobacco. So he's going to make 6. Now, we're not going to make cigars here. The whole point of the wagon is to bring the tobacco back. The expert farmer, of course, is going to farm. And we're going to produce 2 food and sugar here. And for now, this city's going to do nothing but just produce goods. Like raw goods. And then we're going to use the wagon to bring those raw goods to the capital. Then we'll have the capital, do the fancy stuff. Alright, so I produced enough Liberty Bells. I don't know how I produced enough Liberty... Oh, I put that guy on Liberty Bells. That's right. So I can reduce my travel time to Europe. So I'm going to just click on what's the big picture. Now, I'm at 225. Or 225 is what he costs. I'm at 240. So just understand, I'm at 240 on all of these tracks. So if I spend the 225, I go back to, almost 0. So if I want this guy... I need to get to 675. You see what I mean? The military one's going to be tough. I need to just basically have a town produce military points. That's the only hope I have there. The trade points will come naturally. That one's okay. This one, right? Like, how awesome is that, right? There's some really good ones. And then with the religious one, this could be really good early game. So, I'm going to say no. As much as that's nice, I'm okay. I can just produce more ships. So now that I know my answer, I'm going to say no. Alright, this is one of those huts. And we received 138 gold. So, boom. Alright, so I'm going to unload my guy. Load things up. I'm at 21 cigar again. It's still slow going at the moment. But that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start heading back. Alright, so this guy is a gunsmith. I'm not ready to make guns yet, but what I'm going to have him do is he's going to go here and we're going to start getting some ore. At some point, I want the ore to be generated somewhere else and just transported in. But we're going to have him just generate some ore, because then we can start producing some tools. And we're still producing a massive amount of food, so I just want my colonists to... Alright, so yeah, if I generate enough tools, I can then build the lumber mill, which is nice. The church will help. These are things I can build without costing tools, and that's basically what I'm looking at the moment, is what can I build that's not going to cost tools. This armory, by the way, is how I'm going to be able to produce guns. And everything else is upgrades. And then I could also start producing points, right? Because if I want to get the military one or whatever, there's a lot of options here. And I can even produce the political points, which is the same as the Liberty Bells. These need to be done no matter what. So let's do the church. And there's a burial ground here. 346 more gold. So we're doing okay.
Wat is het plan?
So we're just gonna keep exploring here. So price of trade goods in the Netherlands has risen by 2. And then that Pedro Alvarez is no longer available. So what that means is somebody else took him. And that's okay. We haven't met the country yet, so it wasn't England. That's okay. We didn't want him anyways, right? So he's not available. The next one that's going to be available is Ponce de Leon. 2 times as likely to get treasure from ancient ruins. It sounds nice, but we're already running out of ancient ruins to even find. Although we did just find one. And there it is. So I'm going to say no to him as well. Sell these. Get 231. We're at 806. I want both of these guys, but I'm not sure I want to pay for them yet. I'm going to save. So we're just going to head back empty-handed. And then do what we always do, right? Go in, talk to the chief. He's in need of guns. He's an expert farmer. I got 158 bucks from him. Then up here is another... This is one of those artifacts, right? The thing that Ponce de Leon would have given me the increased chance for a treasure. So I ended up getting 280. Look at that, I'm at 1244. And now we just met the Iroquois. I do love some of the mechanics in this game, and a lot of games haven't replicated this. Not even Europa Universalis. Like the interaction with the natives with this game is far better than almost any other game I've ever experienced. And it's such an old game. This was 1995 when this came out. Alright, so I can wake up my wagon here.
Ik wacht op uw orders.
And I probably should. And then we can load up the tobacco and the sugar. Right? And then start bringing it back. And then this guy... Again, I'm just walking around trying to collect money from tribes. If I find some goodie huts, I'll take those along the way. And I only made 18... Like, I'm not making cigars quick enough to make this super lucrative yet. But I'm just going to keep taking what I can and selling them. And, at some point, I will have enough to start making an impact. So, the rebel sentiment, he has added 4 units to the Dutch Expeditionary Force. And then there's increased emigration. A master fur trader is awaiting. So that happens every time you know, get to the end. So now we got another one. This guy will reveal all burial grounds in ancient ruins. So this sort of goes hand in hand with the Ponce de Leon, right? He gives you 2 times as likely to get treasure from ruins. This one will reveal everything. I still don't like these ones. The exploration ones aren't as good. This is the first good one in the list. And again, I'm looking... This one's juicy. That one's like way better. Long term. Some of these are, some of these help you early game, but they're not as else. I want something that's going to help me the whole game. So I'm going to say no. Now you could argue, hey, you know, your start is very slow because you're stubbornly not accepting the money from all the sources, and that's something that could be... It's a strategy. I just don't know how well it works, but you could definitely try it. Alright, so this one gave me an ancient map, which is nice, because now I can see there's an Indian tribe over here and there. I don't necessarily see what's down here. So now I gotta decide, am I gonna explore down here? And my answer is no. I'm gonna go for the tribe I can see. Then I can come back here later. But there's some nice ore. Lots of tobacco. We've more or less discovered everything. The only thing I don't see is a sugar. There's the cotton. Yeah, I haven't found a sugar yet. It looks like... I mean, it looks like a white bag of sugar if you see it. So we haven't found one of those yet. And of course, those are going to be in marshy lands. These are becoming Arctic. So my guess is it's going to be on the north end of the map. So it looks like the southern end is Arctic, so up here would be the sugar. Right here, the price of Netherlands is changing. And again, you can always go here and see what the prices are for everything. Alright, so we are here. I'm going to unload the goods and then just head back. You do have the ability to build roads, but that's what your pioneer does. Gonna sell this. I'm at 1442. The master fur trader is good. I got 2 blacksmiths coming. The blacksmiths are good. So what do I want? I would like this. Like, these are all high priority guys for me. Another one is the Master Tobacconist, which I can afford now. Yeah, I'm going to do it. And you'll see why. I need to make money, right? So I got to spend money to make money. So I just spent $1,200 to recruit units in Europe. So this would give me a 25% discount. That can be pretty good. I can tell you that... So I hired 1 tobacconist, right? I can then build a university or a school or whatever, put my colonists there, and as long as that tobacco guy is in that town, I can then make another tobacco guy. Like, so the whole point of having specialists, you don't have to buy them all from Europe. Like, you do have to buy the initial ones, but then at some point you don't need to buy them anymore. That's the idea. But the 25% discount, though, it is good. Let's see what the big picture is on this one. I need 675 if I'm going to do that one. I'm going to say yes to this one. So here you go. He's demanding taxes. There we go. So he does show up in the Continental Congress. So there's my first one. I have 1 member of my founding fathers. Alright. So we built the church. There's only one more thing I think I can build for free, and that's the schoolhouse. Then I'm going to start needing tools. And then they're not producing that fast, but that's the idea. So now I have this trade route going. And as you can tell, if you get a bigger empire, it's going to get more and more tedious. That is the #1 criticism of a 1995 game. Alright, so now we got another free colonist. So I can send him to start building another village, right? So even though my territory is larger, the development area is not. So with my other villager, since I have the ore being produced, I can start making tools. Then I'm finally, self-sustaining. Or I can just start my other town, which is something I do want to do. But I think let's get the tools going. for now. And then once my tobacco guy comes, we can then free this guy up to do something else. Which is now. Alright, fair enough. So, my tobacconist will go here. We're going to produce 9. I'm going to put this guy out. And I actually think I should make him into a missionary. As much as I want to build another town. We're going to do a missionary first. And then I have a master fur trader, and I don't think I have any fur yet. I do not. So, what I'm going to do... You know what, we just produce... Oh no, I can do this. So we're producing bells and these. Now, the more people you put in the town, the less this is growing. So you do want to start sending these free colonists out to start other towns. But as you can see, like, you need like a minimum number of people in order to get all the resources going for at least a capital. And then, yeah, we do want to start branching out. So here's what I'm going to do. The missionary guy can go anywhere. So I can send him to here or here. You generally want to go somewhere where there's a lot of natives. So there's 3 of them there. 3. Actually, there's 3 everywhere, it looks like. I'm going to go to this one. Yeah, it doesn't matter which one I go to, it looks like. But I'm going to go to this one for now. And yeah, we'll load those 18 cigars again. And then head back to Europe. Alright, we got 884, which is good. And there's expert fishermen, so now we can finally produce our own fishermen. And yeah, I gotta get all the way across the map. Where did I discover? Oh my gosh, they got 2 things side next to each other. Wow, we got a lot of money from that. I don't know why that guy's moving the way he's moving. I'm gonna move him myself. So we're gonna go in, talk to the chief. Got 168 more. Like, a lot of them need guns, as you can see. Alright, sorry, I had to pause there. So, the circle, I think, is trying to tell you this is a good spot to start a settlement. Because everybody can start a settlement, including your seasoned scout. Alright, so we visited a couple villages here. There's a possibility there's another village here. But I'm just going to keep exploring. Unload our goods. Turn around and go back. Sell. Grab a master blacksmith, which is going to help us with tools. I could... Like, that gives you a 100% bonus to your production. Really good. Very necessary if we're going to do what we're planning to do. Oh, they all got cheaper. These used to be... Oh, that's great, because we bought the guy for 25% discount. Why am I being so surprised? Yeah, this used to be 1200. Yeah, that guy was worth it. So this would free up another person and give me a 100% production boost, which doesn't suck. I also wouldn't hurt to have one of these. The sugar person. Looks like you need a tribe to teach you how to harvest sugar too, which is fine. So, what I need to do is buy that galleon, which also got cheaper with my 25% discount. So, that's my next goal. Because if I get the galleon, then I can sell all my my treasures, and then I can get all the guys I want. So let's make that our next target. So here we're gonna go establish a mission. Now this is a regular missionary. There is this concept in the game of like a seasoned missionary, or I can't remember the name for it, where they're a little more powerful. But we're gonna get a mission started, and then you'll see there's this little cross here, right? And basically, what's going to happen now is they're going to produce natives that are converted, and they want to go live in our village. And those natives are really good at harvesting things. So they're good at picking cotton, farming. They're not as good as an expert, but they're sort of like in between. And of course they're free. And you can always put them to school and train them to be something else. Perfecto. Found another one. Yeah, Ponce de Leon is gone. Sugar is cheaper. Selling the raw goods to Europe is not as lucrative. You pretty much want to always save it if you can and produce it with a specialist. So this guy would let us get a 50% conversion rate. I'm going to say yes, because we just started our mission. Okay, we got 300 gold from this one. And keep exploring. Drop him off. So this is where... So this guy is a blacksmith. His primary thing is to work here. So he basically does double the work. He has a 100% bonus. So he'll produce 6 tools. I don't need this guy here anymore. So I'm going to send him out and have him start the next colony. I got the gunsmith doing that. That's right, that's the fur trader. Yeah, this works for now. Alright, so it's telling me to build a settlement here, which I don't want to do. I want to get these fur going, so I'm going to build the settlement here, and then I can get the fish. Food is an issue. And I gotta send some guys way across the map. Where was he at? Well, I gotta go to this one too. Oh, here it is. Not all the way across, just here. Become an expert trapper. Load our ship. We're up to 36 cigars now, because our master tobacco guy is working a bit more. Hard to see because I got all the resources up. Sometimes you do want to shut that off. Got 154 more gold.
Iedereen aanwezig.
I should probably Instead of going there, let's go visit this village. Unload. Just rinse and repeat. There's 2 more things here. I think we built everything there is to be built. So now this is where it gets interesting. We want to build the lumber mill first. And I'm already producing tools, so it's not as much of a constraint anymore. And that's still 30 turns to build that lumber mill. We'll get this guy going. I'm at 1994. I need 2250. So not quite. Not quite. So I want to build one here, and then I want to build one, it looks like here. Oh, and look at that, there's another one. So which order do I want to do things? I can pay the price, which sets me back to square one. I'm just going to wait. So then, since I'm waiting, we might as well go take care of this. That's what we'll do.
Deze militair meldt zich.
Got 150 more. 2518.
Wat is het plan?
Alright. Now, you can go to Europe and purchase right now. I don't need to do it while my ship's there. So I'm going to go ahead and get that galleon right now. And now we're in business. So when I was talking about how I'm going to make mistakes and I was very efficient at this game, the efficiency of this game is like maximizing how quickly you can get that first galleon and getting your settlements established. Like, that's where because you're probably noticing as a viewer that, hey, you made mistakes. You could have done this, you could have done that, and that would have produced quicker or whatever. All of it's true. All of it's true. That's part of the learning. And then as you get better and better, you just increase the difficulty. And like I said, this is the first game that I recall that had an endgame crisis. And the lovely part about the higher difficulty level is that the crisis gets tougher. And that's where the fun is. And so I'm glad I spent the 2250 because look at what just happened. His taxes are always a percentage of what you have. And he wanted everything. I don't know if you saw, but the price of cigars fell. It's not good. I gotta start selling more stuff than just cigars. Alright, so we got another guy here, and can produce 12, but the ore, I only produce 3 ore, so 12 is not going to cut the mustard. So what I could do is I'll put him here for now, and then I'm going to put this guy in the school and have him train. The problem is I think the school, I might need a college to be able to make a tobacco. Like, I think there might be a limitation on what you can train him into, but we'll see. I also need a lumberjack and maybe an ore miner. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. Alright, so we got our galleon here. I noticed that there's a burial mound there. Or do I... Yeah, I'm going to keep exploring. Look at this. There's all kinds of stuff. Maybe the Ponce de Leon would have worked. I'm finding a lot of stuff available. Right, the rancher is... He's another body, but he's not necessarily going to help us. Yeah, I'm not... So this is the part... I guess I can't do it that way, so we'll do it... This is contact the king. We're going to load...
Klaar voor actie. Klaar voor actie. Wat is het plan?
There you go. All 4 of them are loaded. So I'm going to get a lot of money for this. So I need at least 2 trappers, right? So I got to get another one of these guys. And I could, for example, have him leave and stop producing the bells. In fact, that is what I'm going to do. We're going to send another guy to go live with them. Because we need 2 trappers for our town. We're going to need a fisherman for the one, so we can get him some food. Alright, so Fort Tabaki has the warehouse. And I could, like, start generating just military points, because generating this other stuff is not really all that helpful at this point. The stockade is good, so I think I want to at least build the stockade, and then we'll do points. Just having defense, these natives could flip on you or whatever, and then you're in a little bit of trouble. So the other thing is, you know, because like I got this going, we have a significant amount of sugar built up. So I can start doing this too. That way I get more stuff to sell. Alright, so my trapper's ready. So I can bring him back to start the town. I got 3 rum, 36 cigars. I'll leave everything else be. Alright, so we just got another guy, which I can use to replace. See, I don't have enough ore. He's producing more than I'm gaining. So that's what the -3 is. So I'm only making 3 tools. So I could temporarily put him here for now until we get enough ore built up. And then just flip him back and forth. And there it is. 4538. So now I'm going to get that Elder Statesman. So I can start getting those Liberty Bells going. The Liberty Bells are going to get me the Founding Fathers. Firebrand Preacher will help me produce extra crosses. What's funny is I need other stuff too. But actually, I actually like this plan though. We're going to do that. And then I'm going to do the Hardy Pioneer. That's all my money. But we're going to load them all in. That's a lot of money, but those are excellent, excellent guys to have in your town. So, and then that's going to free us up to do other stuff. So, And then I got goods that I can still keep selling with this ship. Alright, so now he wants a world map, and I'm going to say... no. I probably explored more than he has. Oh, so he took those goodies, and look at all the... he made another city right next to his first one. But he's got some good... he's got a cotton... well, he's not going to be able to produce that, but he can... he's not going to be able to produce that either. This was a horrible spot for a city. He just got the fish. That's all he got from that. Alright, and then one other thing. So, like, there's a goodie hut here, or burial ground. If I go there and it's actually gone, that means that he's explored this area really well. It may not be it may be pointless for me to do, because I may not get good gifts from the tribes or anything, but we'll see. We'll see. Alright, I dropped everything off. Sell some goods, get some half-decent money. Petty criminal, you can teach him at the school. Turn him into something more productive. I think you can even send them to the natives, and they'll learn from there too. But they're generally cheap to get. Like you can see, he actually comes at a discount. And then, of course, the free colonist. Do I need to spend this money? No. I'm just going to hold off for now. I got another treasure, which is good for the... so now I'm graduating, so I can make a fisherman, a blacksmith, a fur trader, and I'm going to do the fur trader. So I don't have any fur yet, so we're going to have to set him on something else for now. Sure, we'll have both of those there for now. Right, this is probably the easier way to load the good. We got our firebrand preacher. Just gonna go here and generate 9 of those bad boys, or 6, and we're gonna take him, put him somewhere else for now. We'll leave him there for now. Then we got our elder statesman. He's gonna get us some nice Liberty Bells, which means we can put him back to work there. And this guy's actually gonna stay outside, because he's going to develop and build roads and things of that nature. So, I'm looking at my situation. I have 1 free colonist I can remove. For now, I'll leave him there, but, yeah. And then we want another tobacco guy, and as you noticed, I wasn't able to turn this into a tobacco. I don't know if it was because I didn't have enough money, right? Because it cost me $250, and maybe the tobacco guy costs more. I don't know, like, why I couldn't make the tobacco guy. My other theory is I need a college. Now, you would hope that the Civilopedia would tell you, but it doesn't. It just insinuates that more quickly. Right, so the Pioneer. This is where I need to turn this back on. So I got wood being generated there. I could produce do another wood slash fur. These look like they have just as many ore as here, so there's no need to cut this forest down. These aren't good farm areas. This one is. So lots of options, or I could just build the road to here, and that's actually what I think I'm going to do. I'm going to build a road. It's $20 per space.
U kunt op ons rekenen.
But there we go. It'll take them a while. Oh. That goody hut was still there.
Wat heeft u nodig?
Alright, so old Civ IV style. Since he is an explorer, I'm going to make it so he can move a little quicker and see a little better. Yeah, I'm at a spot where I got two ships that I can't quite fill. It's not like it costs me money to go back and forth. Alright, we're back to square one. Let's see if... Oh, I don't have the money. So I'm just gonna wait. Oh my gosh. Well, that's one way to do it. That's going to take a while to get back here. There we go. That's a good one. To get him on the cheap, really good. Alright, so I have 1779. That was a good year. I do need an expert lumberjack. I don't think the natives could ever teach you that. I need an expert silver miner. I got 2 of these without even trying. I need a master distiller because of the sugar. I'm just thinking. Let's do the master distiller because that's making the goods I need to sell stuff. And then, that's also a good one. That is also a good one. So basically I need more than I can afford at the moment. But let's get that one as well. Load both of them up. Oh, I just realized I needed all that money to do this. Boy, I wasn't smart, was I? What a boneheaded move. I got some of it back. So here we go. Got a new colonist. What do I want to do with this guy? I feel like I want to make another missionary. Or an expert farmer would be nice too. Let's do a missionary first. going to send him to this one. Alright, so now we got both of our trappers ready. And I mistakenly... I'm going to do that one. I think that's a good one to have. So I'm not quite ready. See, I'm running out of storage. It just means I'm producing more than I can spend. We got another ancient treasure. This time it's 982. These are good money. Alright. I spent a lot of money on these guys. I'm glad I have them, but yeah, they're... The Master Carpenter is going to help immensely with producing the buildings that I need. This guy is going to help with that. So... One second. Gotta respond to something. Okay, so... Alright, here's what I want to do. I'm not producing enough ore yet to feed my tool machine, which is fine. The tools are needed to build these advanced buildings, which up until now they've been building very slowly. But I finally put the Master Carpenter, which, as you can see, is going to generate a lot more hammers quicker. We had too much lumber, so for now I'm going to let that number dwindle. And you can see I don't have enough food anymore. So these two are not in the garrison. If I did put them in, they would consume even more food, which I don't have at the moment. So what I could do is have this guy, for example, we can go here and solve the ore problem, right? So now I'm producing a full amount of tools. So that's that. I got my rancher here, so I'm going to eventually starve. That's my issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take him back out. We'll put the rancher there as the ore miner. And you can see I got 6 turns before, or 7 turns before I run out of food. So I'm going to train this guy to go become an expert farmer. We're going to farm this space right here. And if I have to, I can always move him to here, and that'll produce 3 food and get us out of our predicament. But for now, we're going to do it this way. Got a little bit of micromanagement we got to do here. So this guy is going to go become an expert farmer. And this one, I actually wanted to become an expert fisherman. So we can do this, or I could build a farm, because like... See, there's only 1 food being produced in these spots, because they're all tundra. So this is not a great food producing area. Yeah, I'm going to have to... I can have that guy just become a regular fisherman, but to become an expert fisherman, I gotta go all the way across the map. So, 22 turns. You know what? There's a better way. There's a better way.
Ik wacht op uw orders.
I'm gonna have the galleon transport him.
Ik wacht op uw orders.
There we go. So we'll have the galleon move. That's only 7 turns. There we go. We got a nice chunk of change there. We're still stuck. Get some cigar, get some rum.
Wat is het plan?
Unload.
Wat heeft u nodig?
So there's an island up here which might have some good stuff on it. And if you'll notice, we still haven't found any of that sugar I was telling you about. And there we go. We got our first converted native. So they can be pretty good at fishing too. So you don't have to have an expert fisherman per se. I could even send him up here to help him, you know, get more sugar, for example. Because I don't currently have a sugar farmer. So that's what I'm going to do. I'll send him up to do that. Alright, so we're close, but not quite with those guys. And yeah, so I'm sending the... This is the convicted criminal. He's going to go live with the natives and... Or petty criminal. And become an expert farmer. So this would help us to produce more tobacco. Only takes 4 turns now with my... But this is the one I want first. That lets me get plus 200 more good storage. There we go, we got ourselves some nice money. And we're finally in business. Alright, so let's finally start this. The price went up. Oh, you jerk. I guess I'm waiting a little bit longer. Oh, we don't have any storage for tools. Well, and I'm not producing any furs at all. So I'm just gonna do that for now. $16.22, huh? There we go, we got 308 from that. You can't just get on the water, by the way. You need a ship to come pick you up. Established our mission. There we go. So, Fort Orange is now officially... Okay, I gotta come up with a name that's not gonna make me chuckle like I'm a junior high kid again. There we go. And the warehouse for sure. Alright, so let's get them situated here. Obviously we have him doing that. So there we're losing food, so I can't quite do that. So I gotta do that for now. Till I get my fishermen in here. And I could have farmers in these 2 spots. And the farmer will produce 2 extra food, so that'll become 3. And if I build a farm there, I think it becomes 4. Alright, so my hardy pioneer made it to the end. We're gonna go here first. Can't quite do anything yet. Gain some experience. Found another village. Alright, so if I gotta be careful here. So this gives me, look at that, that gives me plus 3 tobacco leaves. The biggest reason, it really only gives me plus 1. The chopping down the tree gives me plus 2. So the land itself produces 5 naturally. But if you do the farm, it'll cut down the tree and build the farm at the same time. So my tobacco production will jump to 6, which was the whole point. And we got our cigars, we got our rum. I'm gonna head back. Now this guy, perfect place for him is here. We're not producing any cotton yet. We could here. I actually don't have any. It's like the nearest cotton place would be way over there. Oh, there's a sugar. Right here. I could build here. I would produce all those resources. And then be able to do quite a bit of cotton. You can see cotton all around. It's all the way on the other side of the map. Certainly doable. What do I do with this guy in the meantime? I don't know. Right now I'm not generating enough food to put him in the town. So I'm just going to have him produce food for now. Oh, that's right. I have him farming instead of producing that sugar. So if I put him here, for example, there we go. He still produces just as much. And then we'll have this guy. See, because he's Native American, he produces 1 more. So instead of getting 3, I'm getting 4, which is a good deal. Very good deal. And right here is where I want to put my ore person. Look at all the ore you can get. So we're getting it done. So now I gotta figure out what am I gonna build next. This will let me start producing guns. Not horrible. I probably need another one of those, but not yet. I'll do this one first. Alright, so there it is. He's raising my taxes. There we go. We got a nice 280. far as I'm concerned, I've explored everything I can. Except for these little patches down here. I do have this one freebie hut, which I'm going to come down and visit. The borders of New Amsterdam have expanded. So I know it jumped to the next unit, but I'm getting close. You know what? I don't need to turn around yet, I don't think. So I'll go ahead and keep going. So it does put pressure on the natives, and they will eventually decide they want to join your area. Right, we got ourselves some nice money. Bring back one of those. Right there, the Jesuit missionary is an improved missionary above and beyond the kind that we were producing. So, I want to start doing this. I can only buy one right now. Looking at our situation, we need one of those. That'd be nice. We need like 3 of those. These we can make by visiting the village. We need one of those. We have at least one. We have one. We need another one of those. We basically bought everything in the game except for those things I just said we need, which, what is it? 5-6 items, maybe $6,000 worth of stuff. What do we want to do now? At $14.98, I'm gonna go ahead and buy the silver. At least get him going. I'm probably gonna need money to start my next settlement, so I don't want to go bonkers. Oh look, we found another. So now I can start alternating between the villages. So this guy would give us 2 converted natives. It's not horrible. It helps us to grow our areas. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. So right now I have this guy doing this. I think I want to start my next town. Let's have the natives go. So like, one of the things I can do is have the native go here to fish while we're waiting, because I don't even have this guy dropped off yet. And I'm going to drop him off here.
Tot uw dienst.
Gonna move this all the way back, because as you can see, one of our treasures are there. And yeah, we're starting to build really nicely here. The cathedral just produces more per citizen, so we're going to go ahead and get that going. Speak with the chief. Got 367. That saves our other guy some time. Now, what are we looking at?
Iedereen aanwezig. Wat heeft vermeldt zich.
Oh, we ended up getting another treasure. So here we go. 72 fur. We got our expert farmer. Cigar, rum. And back we go. Silver miner. The free colonist. What do I want him to be? We need expert farmer to support this. So I'm going to send him to become a farmer.
Ik wacht op uw orders.
Alright, so we're going to put this guy on fur duty. And then have this one fish. So he produced one more than the other guy, which is good, until the expert fisherman comes back. Then we can flip this to farm, or do something. The more guys you put in a town, of course, the more you have to feed them. Right now, I can easily do 3 as is. And this is actually pretty much all I want this town to do. Because we're producing a bunch of fur. Now you could argue, hey, you could put a fur guy here and a fur guy here, and then this becomes a fur powerhouse. All that's true. You just still have to be able to feed them. And then that means I gotta produce food at my capital. There's a lot of moving parts. And here you can see I don't have enough sugar. So what's it gonna cost us? Nothing, because see, we're not near any of the tribes, so this wasn't considered. So this was a free build, this one. Fort Diamond. Even though it's not diamond. It looks like diamond. Perfect. We'll work on that. Alright, so we finished producing the farm, and look at all the tobacco that thing's producing now. So now we're going to go here. Live among the natives. We need that sugar because we're out of sugar. There we go. Produce a bunch of money. That's down to 210. What else did I say I needed? I needed a lumberjack. I need more of those. Another one of those. But yeah, we're getting to a spot where I don't necessarily need to buy so much. This would be helpful, and so would that. And I got 848 left. Not quite enough. Alright, so this guy, expert farmer. Replace that one. He's doing lumber. We should probably do some ore. And yeah, we got 2 guys here. We're gonna start moving these guys to produce those coats. This is the one good we're not making yet. A little hard to do at the moment. And that is going to give us an extra sugar. Yep, that's what we want. There we go. We now have the sugar they need. And look at that. storage is running out already. Expert fisherman's already ready. Jeez Louise. That was quick. Who's this guy? Was I literally producing silver with this town? I was. Let's produce food. Then we got our expert silver miner. Look at that, he's gonna produce 4 silver. That's great. And we need 1 more silver miner here. So we just need 2. But that's excellent. And you can see here we could produce a crap ton of fur. Okay, so we got our cathedral. I need to start building another wagon train. We have our stockade, and then this is where I want to start producing military points. Don't need to build anything else. And we lost fur, because this thing's producing more fur than I can store. Unload, load, cigars, rum, coats. Head back. I'll put a lumberjack. Produces 14 wood. I'm okay food-wise, but I do have this one guy I can either train him. Just trying to decide. I think for now I will generate the bells, but I'll pull him if I need to. I was hoping to make cotton, so I can at least get a little bit of cloth going, but I need the food. Yeah. Then we got our missionary here, so I can send him to one of these tribes that are near me. Size 1. So I don't think it matters which one I send him to. So yeah, we'll just go to this one.
Wat is het plan?
Won't let me do anything this round.
Ja. Deze militair meldt zich.
Alright, so what am I doing here? I want to build the college. I don't know what I got for going here, but it's been done. What else do I do with this guy? Just explore these final... So, the other value of these missions is it does give you religion points. So, these points get generated every round. I wish it would tell you how much you're getting per round, but my missions are giving me these points, and you can see the distribution here. So, And then even like, remember I told you I'm producing military points? Let me look at that. I think some of this was earned by because my troops leveled up, and I got some military experience, and that did contribute towards this. And then trade, just doing normal trade, we're already through the roof. So it's the bells. The bells are the limiting factor. And then religion, we're getting close to one, and then the exploration is all the way to the end. Okay, so Galleon is here. These are really nice. We're gonna load those up. There's nothing else I really need to load. They're producing a bit quicker now, which is good. Alright, so I got some nice money. The ore miner, I know for sure I need. I needed one more silver miner. It'd be nice to have a second one of these. Or those, but I can't afford that one. I'm hoping the college would let me get these for cheaper. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get those two guys. This we do eventually need, because we do need to make guns. And I have learned it might be better to pick one of our other towns to have it produce ore, produce tools, and produce guns, and then we just transport those to the capital. Having the capital produce guns and produce bells and all the other things that we're trying to do with the factories, it's hard to feed everybody. But if I upgrade my dock, I do get 2 extra food for every water space. So that's where being near the water is helpful. Yeah, we'll go ahead and load those 2. Alright, so that expert farmer, the purpose of him was to go here. So, I think we've explored everything there is to explore on the mainland. So we can go do these other areas, and you know what? That's where the galleon can help, because I don't need to have 2 ships. So we'll start moving back. We finished upgrading both of these. I could upgrade more, but remember, I gotta... So if I want to, like, for example, have a farm to feed my people, I can... So, like, we know that that's a grassland. Grassland has 2 food by default. So, if I'm willing to get rid of the wood and the fur, I can... Yeah, let's do that. Look at that, it's almost full already. Now this is like every time I want to build a new settlement, it could have come in handy. It's still going to cost me money no matter where I go, and the more land you purchase, the more expensive it gets. I'm going to say no. So we have a crap ton of money. So you could buy more ships, buy more... Don't quite need that yet. What I could do is load up on bell production. We're going to do exactly that. Let's get some bell production going. I could load up on this production as well, but the bell production's better. Also, I don't want to spend all my money. Oh, now look at this. Increases this production by the tax rate. I'm going to say yes. That sounds awesome. Cloth going up. So if I turn this into a farm, see that adds +3 food. So if I want to turn this into the blacksmith and the gunsmith. I want to do all that here. So I need to produce food. I could also try to produce some cotton. It's not the best place in the world, but like these are better because they have 3 on them. But I don't have any of those in my reach. Alright, let's load 38 silver, 30 tobacco. Oh, if I remember correctly, one of these natives needed something like coats? Fur? I can't remember. I should try to trade with one of them. So I have an ore miner. I'm going to move him up there. And then I'm going to move the blacksmith up there. See, then I don't need 3 guys producing ore either. So like I can do this and this. And see, then the gunsmith can go with the blacksmith. And then that's less people I need to feed too. In fact, I got 2 redundant people there. I have 1 redundant person here. Here's another blacksmith. Him as well. So we're surplus on food. I need to get more of these guys. Yeah, I like the plan. Let's do this. I do need that farmer we were talking about. So maybe I should... Yeah, we're going to take him out too. And right there is an expert farmer trainer. Alright, so we got our college up. See, look, the university gives plus 25% bells. See, it doesn't, like, there's certain things that just aren't. The printing press gives plus 50% bells. Let's do that since we got our Taco Bells arriving. And there we go. We got another converted native. I think I want to go here. So we put our fish farmer there. See, and he just naturally produces 4 food, which is good. We need it badly. And that native going here is not a good idea. We may want to start another place. So, like for example, if I'm near these two fisher spots, right? I can produce enough food to send to. I mean, you got to think like, okay, I just want this guy to be a food producer. If I come all the way out here, I mean, again, there's corn, which is same as the fish. It just here's a silver. I'll have to pay the natives for land. I'm not seeing a good food producing anything around there though. So we're gonna have the same problem. That produces silver, but um, then look at this. Okay, maybe we're getting too far away because like look at this. This is like we go here to get some cotton. It's a bit of a hike. Or I can just plop something right here and get cotton. It doesn't have the actual cotton symbol, but I can produce some nice food and get 2 cotton production going. And then all this is feeding into the capital. You know what, that's probably the best idea. There is a cotton up here. Let me think about this. This is not that much further away. Could maybe get some nice food there. Not horrible. I think I actually like this one better. And if I could justify going here, look at that, cotton, 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 cotton. Yeah, that one's even better. We'll do that. So that means our cotton guy, this guy, he can leave too. Look at that, 18 bells. Now we're going to be cooking. It'd be nice to get 3 of those guys too. So we're going to have him go. So they're telling us to put it here, which may not be bad. I want to go here though. I want the extra cotton spot. The galleon's going to wait because we need our scout, wherever he is, to arrive. How did they get so many blacksmiths? So see, we're out of food. This is our issue. We're going to do that for a while. And then we got to stop building military points. That's the thing. Because now that we got all these guys here, I need to, first of all, I need to build the gunsmith. We can build the blacksmith shop, which will help us. You need a lumber mill first before you can do that. Alright, well we got another one. I don't need them per se. That's the one I need right there. 1,000 gold. Oof. I mean, I have the money. We're gonna get cheeky. So I'm gonna wait. There we go. So we're gonna load the scout onto the galleon. Unload the silver. Go up to there. So we're still producing one. This is perfect. This synergy here. I mean, it'd be nice to come in here and produce fur and all that, but then I gotta, like I said, I have to have a food mill that's just sending them food all the time. Now this is the weird part. I don't know how I got the third blacksmith. I'm already losing food. All that did was pay for himself. But I could do 2 more farmers here, which they're gonna need. I could actually get a 3rd farmer here. I'm giving up tobacco production for it, but it's doable. I need 1 more wagon train. That's right, I built the bells. So I can do another one, right? Earlier you do this, you know, the more the gravy train helps you. Let's get 1 more of those going. Right, we're gonna burn up a lot of our food here. I just don't know what to do with the rancher yet, so we're just gonna put him outside for now. That 36. That's awesome. This. I thought I upgraded that. I guess I didn't. Yeah, we want this guy here. And that guy to go there. So what do I do with you? You have 27 ore. He will come in handy once I finally build my stables. But right now, he's not quite. $291, so I'm producing a lot of tobacco. We're gonna make tools because he's low. Alright, so Galleon's gotta drop off these guys. So we're gonna go up to here first. We never found France or Spain yet, so they gotta be on these other islands. crazy that England and I have this big continent to ourselves. Alright, so we did that. Caravel's not that good. Yeah, it only has 2 cargo space. That's horrible. I'll say no to that guy. That one, I am going to say yes to. Right, so get some more missionaries. So we're going to send one there, send one there. And remember, they give you religious points, so... Right, so this was cleared out so a farmer could get more food there. I don't know if I can build a farm on this one. I bet I could here. I can build one there. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Alright. This is interesting. So -1 food. I need a farmer here as well. So if I clear this and this out, I can make 2 really nice farms here without disrupting the cotton. And as you can see, just a Native American alone can get you 4 cotton. If I had an expert cotton farmer, I can make it 5. What's interesting is I'd be converting it to cloth instead of transporting it in, which if I transport it in, I can move this guy back to the capital. So for now, I'm gonna just produce food. At least get the cotton going with that one. And that's perfect. I need him. I thought I was just here. I'm gonna grab some tools. I was just there. This one needs to go here. Alright, so now we're starting to pull in some money. One of the reasons I spend so much is the king, when he taxes you, like I said, he takes a percentage of what you have. So, as much as there's temptation, hey, you need to store up 30,000 money, it's not a great deal. So that's why I keep, like, just buying things that are gonna help me to produce bells, produce, you know, these. Because, like, I'm cranking through this now. And I'm going to get another Elder Statesman, which is fine. I can put that in another town. I have to feed him. That's the only problem. This guy I can turn into an expert farmer, which you're starting to notice I need a few of. So, actually, I'll go ahead and buy him now, and we'll do exactly that. So, like, you know, do I need anybody else? I mean, I could use another one of those. That college, for whatever reason, didn't let me produce one. I don't understand why. Getting another pioneer is really nice, because you can see how long it's taken him to build the improvements. So I have like all these other towns that I could be building improvements for, and having another one is good, because you don't have to feed him either. He feeds himself, as long as he's outside of a town. I think for now, I'm good. You know, I may want another one of those. I do want another one of those, but I think they're coming right here. Yeah. Sure, let's do that. And I'm gonna end the video here because I'm at 3 hours. So thanks for watching. Stay awesome.